Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on Ready to Love Season 8 Episode 2 titled It's Getting Thot in Here. Now my phone will shut off in 26 minutes. So I have 26 minutes to get this video done. So I'm going to run through this quickly. So, okay, we pick up where we left off with Tommy. He called out Brandon and Habibi. And I predicted that Brandon was going home because, let's face it, of course he did. And the reason he went home was because he married and divorced his wife twice. He has 4 kids. He had just gotten a divorce 6 months ago, and nobody's feeling him, so it wasn't a big surprise that he went home. But Abibi is not going to make it to the end. I haven't seen the end of this yet. I'm just going from beginning to end. Abibi's not going to make it to the end. He needs to take that damn thing off of his head and tell us his real name. Next scene, they all go to brunch, and Tequila and Macrie sit together and talk. Chris and Janelle, they sit together and talk. Then Tommy shows up and gathers everybody together. He tells them that this week the ladies have the power to send a guy home. Then he leaves out. And then the contestants, they go back to mingling. They go back to brunch and go back to mingling. And Marvin sits down with Lee, and she questioned him about the dominatrix. And he says it's like 50 Shades of Grey. And he's really promoting it. He's wearing 2 black, spiky bracelets. He tells her that he has several restraints, and he uses floggers and paddles. Then we see him sitting with Jessica. He's still talking about his dominatrix. Marvin is good looking, but the dominatrix stuff scares me. Me and Jessica, we're on the same page. In her confessional, she said it's a no for her. Why do you have to tie somebody up and flog them in order to get excited? That's crazy. Then we see him talking to Unique. And last episode, I think she said she was intrigued by Marvin and his dominatrix. In her confessional, she said his energy is strong, confident, and dominant. And she said she liked it, but it scares her a little bit. Marvin said he likes someone who is submissive, and that's the vibe he's getting from Unique. I want a submissive guy. Me, I do. I mean, I wouldn't ask him to do anything demeaning or disgusting or hurtful, but I would like to tell a man what to do and when to do it. I want him to tell him to clean the fridge, mop the floor, and do the laundry. Next, Tequila is sitting with Red and Habibi. She's sitting with Red, and Habibi comes over and sits on the other side of her. And he tells her that he connected with her the most. He said he's not connecting with the other ladies. And then we see a clip of him talking to Sierra, and he asked her why did she F up her last relationship. Habibi has no game and no tact. The way he talked to the ladies is like he's never spoken to ladies before in his life. He had asked Kira if she was a stripper. Then he asked Kira and Tequila if they would cheat on him with one of the guys. And now he's asking Sierra why she F up her relationship. He doesn't know how to talk to women, and he's a total joke. But for some reason, Sierra thinks Habibi is funny. I think he's just a joke, and not all jokes are funny. Anyway, Phil, Kira, and Macria, they're sitting together, and Macria tells Phil, since you're Leo, she tells him Leos have big dick energy. I don't know where she get that from. Everyone is still mixing and mingling, and Macria is talking to Jessica, and she admits to him that she can't cook. And I hate when people say they can't cook. Google how to cook. Google whatever you want to cook, or go on YouTube. It's not rocket science. You can figure it out. So Red sits down with Unique. He's still salty about her saying he has a thot job. In his confessional, he said he makes 6 figures, and you can't dumb his profession down to a thot job. Unique tells him that she didn't mean for him to take her comment to heart, but it's a thot job. What do you mean you don't mean for him to take it to heart? But just guess what? She's something else, because she is interested in the guy who is an erotic writer and into dominatrix. But she's telling Red, who is a comedian and a DJ, that he has a thot job. She's a nut. Anyway, Red is offended, so he tells her that she has a thot job. I think she's a producer. And now Unique is offended. So Red tells her that he is not going to talk to her anymore. So she smiles. She said, alrighty. And she picks up her pocketbook and she walks off. Next scene, Tequila sets up a date with Habibi, Phil, Red, Kira, and Janelle. And they go bowling. And I like that. I love to bowl. I can bowl. I'm a good bowler. So right away, Tequila asks, she calls out Phil. She told him that she tried to connect with him, but he pulled away. He tells her that she was talking about sex too soon. That's why he pulled away. So then Janelle shows up, and she was asked who was she feeling. And Janelle said she's feeling Red, and Tequila said me too. And Red is sitting there blushing. Kira asked Habibi who he was not feeling, and I guess it was Janelle. Janelle said they never talk. And Tequila said, well, how come you guys don't talk? And in her confessional, Janelle told us that off camera, Habibi said something offensive about her body and she wants nothing to do with him. And I believe it, because he just opens up his mouth and let anything flies out of his mouth. He has no damn tact. So they go to play the game and comes to find out that it's bowling with football. Not for me. That's not something I would do. I like regular bowling. Thank you very much. So Red is flirting with Kira, and Janelle is yelling across the way, telling him he's getting too close to Kira. And don't let the little girl get you hurt. Janelle is out of line. Red is not there. Red is there to date everybody, not just her. And then she called Kira a little girl. I was liking Janelle, but until now, I don't like her. Now I don't like her. That wasn't cool what she did. She's not making herself look good. But Red is clueless. He thinks Janelle's jealousy means she cares. So he likes her jealousy. Red, that doesn't mean she cares. It means she's controlling. And she won't hesitate to embarrass you in public. That's considered a red flag. Anyway, Habibi and Tequila, they are playing darts, and he asked her how she feels about him being a saxophonist, because he travels a lot. And she says, so how do you do relationships by traveling so much, And he said he finds girls wherever he goes. So she said, so you were a cheater? He said, absolutely. So she said, at least he's honest. Then she asked him what made him cheat. I think the producers chopped the conversations up, because the conversations didn't really make sense. They weren't flowing. He said his girlfriend didn't give BJs. That's why he cheated on her. So then he claimed he's changed. He's not that guy anymore. And Tequila is loving his honesty. I want to hear him play the saxophone. I want to see if he does anything good, because he doesn't communicate well. So let's see if he plays the saxophone well. So nobody's doing good at this football bowling, and Kira is ready to quit. Red doesn't want her to quit. Janelle is throwing shots at Kira. Janelle said she quits when things get hard. How do you know? You don't know this girl. Janelle needs to focus on getting to know Red and stop taking shots at Kira. She's jealous of Kira. Kira is prettier and younger and thinner. That's why. And bubblier. But Red is still flirting with Kira. He picks her up and throws her over his shoulder. And now Janelle is pissed at Kira. And I'm wondering if Janelle and Red didn't talk and date, see each other when the cameras are down. And now they have an understanding with each other. That's what I'm thinking, because she's acting like he's her man. Next, Kira and Habibi, they sit down to eat, and Habibi, with his tactful self, says he has spent a whole entire year keeping his penis in his pants. And Kira asked him if he's a cheater, and he said yes. In her confessional, Kira said she loved his honesty, but he's a no for her. I hope he's sent home. In her confessional, Tequila said she knows that they don't like Habibi because of his demeanor, but she is willing to give him a chance. Red goes up to Janelle and says, "Hey, boo." And she tells him he smells like Kira, but she said it jokingly. Then they laugh and they hug. So everybody leaves out. While Janelle and Red, they sit down and talk, and she tells him about her father being a police officer, and they talk about her ex, and she said our ex still like her, and she can pick up the phone and call them whenever she feel like it, and he says, no, you won't. And I really think that these two have an understanding with each other, to stick with each other. Red said in his confessional that talking to Janelle is a pleasure, and he vibes with her most, and he hopes that she has the same feelings. When they were leaving out, Janelle was still taking shots at Kira. She says her purse was fake, mine was real, and she's young anyway. Who cares? The next scene, Aries hosts a get-together with Jessica, Sierra, Quentin, Chris, and Herbert. Aries and Jessica have the same connection, Chris and Quentin. Since Leanne left, Aries is 43, and she's now the oldest person in the group. Aries and Chris, they flirt a little bit in the kitchen, and Sierra had on these short shorts, and Herbert was checking it out. Herbert seemed to like her short shorts. Sierra asks Herbert if he believes in sex before marriage, and he says yeah. And he tells her that she must be thinking about him sexually. And she says no. In her confessional, she said he's always saying sexual things to her. So he asks her if she believes in sex before marriage. And she says, yeah, she believes in sex before marriage, but right now she's practicing abstinence. And she's been doing it for a year. And Herbert is not into that abstinent mess. He's not into that. So Jessica and Chris are talking, and she asks him about talking about arranged marriages. He's from Nigeria, and his culture they arrange marriages. But he says he's not doing that. He is going to choose his own wife. Aries and Quentin are sitting on the couch, and they're touching hands, and they're flirting with each other a little bit. But I don't think Quentin, I don't like what Quentin said to her. They're sitting on the couch touching and flirting a little bit, and he says, Aries is 43 years old, and Quentin is 33 years old. She's 10 years older than him. And he asked her, how have she ever dated anyone as young as him? That's a horrible thing for him to ask her. Why is he going to ask her that? They're sitting there flirting, staring in each other's eyes, vibing with each other, and he asked her that. I thought that was rude. Why point out how old she is? How much older she is than he is? And I don't think he likes her anyway. He likes Lee. And then he tells her that there's a 10 years age difference between them. And Aries basically tell him that you're a grown man. You're not a child. It's not like you're 20 years old. I'm not robbing the cradle, so it's fine. So then Jessica and Herbert, they're talking, and she tells him that he gives her lady man energy. And he doesn't agree with that. So when it's all over, Herbert walks Sierra to her car, and Quentin helps Aries clean up. And this was a good group. No yelling across the way, no jealousy, no backbiting, this was just a nice, mature crowd. Next scene, Sierra meet up with Habibi. They hug, and she tells him that he smells good, and he have her turn around so he can check her out. And he compliments her on her nails. He said he hated when women come out without getting their nails done. What he likes is women who have their nails done and give BJs. That's what he likes. Those are his requirements. He asked her if she liked him more than the other guys, and she said, well, I have to get to know you first. And he cuts her off and says, that was a yes or no question. I would have told him to go take that rag off your head and get the hell out of my face. That's what I would have told him. Talking about, this is a yes or no question. Cuts her off, too. So she tells him that he stands out in the room. And he likes that. He thought that meant, yes, she likes him better than all the other guys. No, you stand out because you have a rag and you rag on a rag on your friggin' head. That's why you stand out. Habibi's, I think he's on another planet. So Sierra tells him that she wants to see a more serious side to him. And I think that's his serious side. That's all he got. So he asked her if she was mixed, and she said she is black, but her family is Creole. Then they're talking about her mother. And she's saying how I think she competed with her mother about how to eat crawfish or something, how to unshell crawfish. And Habibi said to her, your mother ain't shit. And she said, what? And Habibi said, it's a joke, it's a joke. And Sierra told him that he is crazy. And he said, no, I'm not. And then Sierra said, check, please. She's ready to go. Next, Lee meet up with Quentin. She is a year older than Quentin, so I wonder if he's going to ask her how she feel about dating somebody younger. But he's not going to ask her that because he likes Lee. What Aries should have said was, how do you feel about dating an older woman? I would have wanted to know what his answer was then. So then Lee meets up with Quentin and they hug and he compliments her. He told her she looks good, and I love it when a man compliments a woman. She asked him if he feels comfortable about if she gets attention from other guys because she's into fitness. And he said, if I'm doing what I'm doing at home, then I don't care, about any other man if they're looking at you, because I know what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing at home. So they're eating, and he feeds her some of his food, and she's eating seafood. He's allergic to seafood, and they're talking, they're chit-chatting, and they're having a good time. And he told her that since you're eating seafood, I can't kiss you. And she told him, well, you won't be kissing me. You got more work to do before you can kiss me. And they're joking, and, they're having a good time. And they're flirting and enjoying each other's company. And Quentin's vibe with Lee is totally different from his vibe with Aries. Next, the ladies meet up with Tommy. And Lee said she's feeling Quentin. And Macrie. Aries said she's feeling Quentin. Janelle said she said she and Quentin talked for 2 hours the night before, and they talked real bad. I have no clue what that means. How many times? 27. Okay. I don't know what that means. She said they talked real bad. I guess they were talking dirty to each other. And Lee did not like that. Sierra said she liked Herbert. He makes her feel tingly inside, and the girls downstairs were clapping. I've never heard nothing like that before in my life. Aries said red is in her top. Kira said she enjoys red, but she feels like he is for the streets. Unique did call him a thot, so I guess he is for the streets. Unique like Marvin. Taquila like Habibi. She said he's a good guy. He's in school doing IT. He has a military background. He DJs. He spends time with his kids. And he travels a lot. And then Sierra laughs. And Janelle says Habibi is a clown. In a confessional, Taquila said Janelle has not taken the time to get to know Habibi. And I wouldn't take the time. I wouldn't waste my time trying to get to know him either. Listening to the disrespectful way he is with the women, I wouldn't spend time trying to get to know him. Screw that. Tommy asks, who are they not feeling? Lee said she's not feeling Marvin because of the dominatrix thing. And I think Jessica also said she wasn't feeling Marvin. I think she wasn't feeling him because of the dominatrix thing, but she said she was curious about it. I think that's what she said. Kira is not feeling Quentin. She said she thinks he likes white women, not black women. And then Tequila agrees. And then Sierra was like, yup. And then Unique smiled and nodded her head. And then Tequila said at the mixer, Quentin told her that none of these women are who I would normally go for. They are not my type. That's what she said, he said. But then they showed a clip of her asking him if he was feeling her. And he said he was not feeling anybody yet. And I think he said that because he wasn't trying to hurt her feelings. He was trying to let her down easily. I think Quentin is only focused on Lee, and he's not focused on any of the other women. That's why they think that he doesn't like black women. Janelle thinks that it's not true what Kira is saying. She thinks that Janelle and Kira just decided to start this rumor because Quentin is not feeling them. Eris said she didn't believe it either. She don't believe that Quentin only likes white women. And Lee said she is the most chocolate thing in the group, and her and Quentin have been vibing since day one. Anyway, Aries said she is not feeling Habibi. Sierra told them that Habibi said, F your mom. But then they played the clip back and his actual words were, your mom ain't shit. Lee said she was not feeling Habibi. He was talking crazy to her at the mixer. Taquila goes to bat for Habibi and said she enjoys Habibi. Janelle tells everyone that Habibi told her that he was going to suck her breasts. And everyone is shocked. Tommy said, whenever there is disrespect, I want to know immediately. And what are you going to do about it? Because you're always for the men. Then Janelle and Tequila they got to arguing, and then they came and escorted Tequila out of the room, and I don't understand why. She wasn't getting physical. They were just arguing, and why didn't they escort Janelle out of the room too? Then Tequila, when she was being escorted out, she said, if y'all get rid of Habibi, then get rid of me too. If y'all eliminate Habibi, eliminate me too. Nobody gotta eliminate you, Tequila. Just leave. Leave and then go to date Habibi in the streets or whatever. So they escorted Tequila back in, and they all continued. Sierra said she is not feeling red. Lee said she is not feeling red. Jessica said she's not feeling red. Aries said she's not feeling red. And Unique told him about the comment that she made about the thot. And then she said he turned around and called her a thot, so she ain't feeling red either. Next, it's time for the ladies to take out the two bottom men and eliminate one of them. Sierra meets up with Habibi. She is wearing her nice wig. She was wearing a wig in the meetup with Tommy also. And she's wearing that nice wig. The wig looks good and she looks great. But Habibi didn't know it was her until he heard the sound of her voice. Then he realized it was her. Anyway, she tells him that she felt uncomfortable with him on their date. And I think Sierra was drunk. She told him that the girls think that he's very attractive. Then she told him that he was disrespectful with some of the ladies. Then she reminded him about what he said about her mother. Then she tells him that she and the ladies feel that he is not ready to love. But Habibi said he accept that, and him and Sierra hugged, and he left. And I'm so glad he's gone. Kira met up with Red. They hugged, and he flirted with her a little bit in his confessional. He let us know how much he enjoys looking at her. They sit down at a table, and he is telling her how much he likes her. Then she told him that the women were saying that he is boring. Red said, no. She goes, yeah. She said, I didn't get that. She did say he's for the streets, though. And then she said the ladies mentioned something about a thot. But then she told him that the ladies decided that he was ready to love. And this is the end of my review. I tried to go fast. I think I'm 23 minutes in. This is the end of my review. Princess on a Pillow here. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.